Welcome, race fans. This is Spec Corvette coming live from NOLA Motorsports Park. My name is John Wynn, number 155 on the West Coast Region Racer. And we're here at NOLA Motorsports Park to join 8 Spec Corvette racers here, heading out off of grid right now and heading onto the track. We've got several different regions in attendance here, most dominantly the NOLA Motorsports, NOLA region, with 6 drivers or 5 drivers there. Then we also have Kansas City region with Larry Brady traveling 13 to 14 hours coming down here to race with the NOLA guys. And then we have Frank Reinhart and Cecil Stevens from the Florida region. So a couple guys coming in from different directions to come and race the last race of the year, the season. And for the NOLA guys, this is a points battle. So Alexis Hocevar is leading the battle right now. And he has some issues with his car with third gear. So the first race was leading the race and had some issues there. Lost third gear and went to the back. So it's going to be an interesting race for him, but he's actually on pole. So Spec Corvette presented by Nankang Motorsport Tires, FFP Racing, Willwood Brakes, Track Spec Motorsports, Penske Racing Shocks, Redline Oil, Sparco Seats, Winding Road Racing, Spec Racing, TPS Motorsports, and AMT Motorsports. Coming back to our live feed here, we are out on our outlap here, and it looks like we are in the car of, that looks like Cecil Stevens, or I'm sorry, Frank Reinhart. So we got Frank in car right now. You can see the cars are getting the tires warmed up. Not an extremely sunny day. It looks like it's pretty overcast, and the track's got a little patchiness on it, but it looks like it's a good day for racing. Tires should be able to hold up pretty well with not a lot of sunlight on there. So the guys are warming the tires up right now. The first race, Wayne Caudle got first place. P2 was Rod Markovits. Third place, Taylor Ramey. Fourth place was Larry Brady. First time on this track. And Larry's really was able to dip down into really good lap times with that compared to the NOLA guys that have run this track before. And then you followed by Walt Davisson, Cecil Stevens, Frank Reinhart, and then Alexis again with that third gear. Had a small little spin, apparently got tapped just slightly, just enough to get him into a spin and get him off pace and put him in the end. But the way they are running this race is qualifying times, fastest qualifying or fastest during the race. So Alexis is fastest in this race or last race, so he's able to start out front. A little bit of water there, that should be interesting. So the guys are starting to form up now. You can see Alexis out front with his silver Z06, and he does not have third gear. So this is going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of traffic, so these guys are going to take off pretty hard. I'm sure Alexis is going to start the race and pacing it in second gear so that he can get a nice run, and he's going to have to go right to fourth gear. So they're coming around the bend here. You can see all the grandstands there, making the right, and they're going to be looking for the flag right now. And he's second here. Inside Frank Reinhardt's car, right in front of him is looks like Wayne Caudle's red Z06, and we're just about to go green. So just wait for the flag, and there we are, green. And you see Frank Reinhardt. Is he going green? Now we're going green. Okay, there we go. Now we're going green. All right, so let's see. There it is, Alexis right there. He had a nice start and nice move on his behalf to close the door on Frank Reinhart. He's trying to save every position that he can get without using third gear. And looks like Frank going in too wide here. We got Larry Brady on the outside and Cecil Stevens on the inside. And coming around the left-hand sweeper right now. And Frank Reinhart trying to take a peek in here and late breaks and he's able to seize the opportunity and picks up 2 positions there. Nice job there from Frank Reinhart. See if he can hold on to it. He went a little bit deep, and the guys let him have it, so they noticed he was there, so that's good. Going into the car of Alexis Hocevar right now, he's just trying to hold on to dear life to any position that he can get to gather the points that he needs for the championship. So a little right-hander onto the curb there. Alexis knows this track very well. This is his home course, so he's going to do whatever he can to hold on to the positions there, and I know he knows this track. So he's set the fastest lap times of the day, and let's see what he can do without third gear. Now, I'm not sure exactly what happened to his third, if it's gone completely or if it just grinds going into it, but he says, talking to him, no third gear, which essentially means it's not there. So it's not, sometimes when you lose a synchro, you're able to baby it into the gear by just putting a little bit of pressure on it and let it slip right in. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case for Alexis here. So he's going to have to fight pretty hard. So it looks like Taylor Ramey there locks up the brakes, goes in a little bit deep, but I think that's Larry Brady in front of him. Noticed that he had a lockup, gave him a lot of room. So that's excellent work there, being aware of other drivers around him and having any issues, and didn't get broadsided. So that's nice. So coming around the sweeper here on the right, and long sweeping right, coming full power down, and then going to go for another straightaway here. And Alexis, again, you can see just the power that he just does not have with not having that gear. These guys are just walking him right now. So he's going to have a hard time. He's going to try to late break, try to pick up some paces here, possibly throw it in the second for a little while. He just doesn't have a whole lot. But he's doing a great job tailing these guys. And look at that, right up on the bumper, Taylor Ramey. Able to try to get him a little raffle, little bit in there to try to make him make a mistake or something like that. So get in his mirrors, switch side to side. That's great work there by Alexis, but it didn't work. So he's just trying to do his best to stay in the race here with these guys. So a lot of late braking and a little more riskier moves he's got to make. He's got to keep his momentum up as compared to the way he has to drive before. So let's see here. Right now, taking a look at my race hero. Let's take a look at the positioning that we have. Again, we have 8 Spec Corvette racers here in their own class. Looks like Rod Markovits is out front with a minute 58.89. These guys were qualifying right in the minute 56s. So within the battles, they're, driving your mirrors and having traffic around you. These guys are about 2 seconds off the fast pace. From Rod Markovits, you got Wayne Caudle, 159.2, Larry Brady, 202.2, and the rest of the guys, Taylor Ramey, 202, Alexis Hocevar, 203, pretty darn good without a third gear, 203. Still besting Cecil Stevens at 204, first time on this track, as well as Frank Reinhart. And then you got Walt Davisson following behind. Let's go back over to the cameras, take a look at what we got. All right,
John, we just missed it on the tail end of it there, but we had a nice little spin from Alexis.
Oh,
not
I
sure
didn't see
what
it.
Caused it, but it was beautiful.
He had a spin, huh? Okay, he had a spin. He spun out.
Yes.
Let's play the replay. Right. Oh, we don't have that feature.
We need that function.
We need that function, but maybe next time. So, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard Josh Carroll on the line there. He's actually behind the scenes with his son, Cole, making all this happen. So there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes. So would like to send our appreciation to Josh and Cole, doing all the prep work, setting everything up and setting all the cameras and make sure everybody's got everything right. So, appreciate that. So thanks, guys. And we're still in the car here with Frank Reinhart. And positioning wise, let's take a look at what position Frank is in. He looks like he's in 6th place, right behind Cecil Stevens. They're actually an uncle-nephew team, so from Florida. So they contacted us, wanted to go Spec Corvette racing, and they both started building their cars right away. And they have a lot of fun out there, and we look to run a big Spec Corvette Sebring track or Sebring race sometime soon. So take a look here. We're still inside Frank's car. He's trying to catch up to Cecil there. Cecil, being a pretty new racer in this series and racing in general, started doing track days, I'd say even maybe a year ago, he's really a great driver. Was able to keep up the pace at NCM a few weeks ago, and is seemed to be pulling away from Frank right now. So he's doing a pretty good job wheeling that thing. So if you guys missed it, about 4 weeks ago, we had a national race, our first really big national race for Spec Corvette at NCM Motorsport Park. And we were able to get 13 Spec Corvettes there, all from every region was represented. So we had Ole Thordarson from the West Coast. We had Great Lakes, Chris Heinzen and Tyler Chantrine, and then all the NOLA guys and Florida guys, and also Kansas City. So all regions represented in that race, and we should have a nice little feature video coming out shortly. If you follow us on Facebook or Instagram, you will see, I'd say in the next week or 2 days or so, or week or so, we're going to have releasing a nice little video of a follow-up of that whole race series in that weekend. So stay tuned for that. So we're in the car of Alexis Hocevar here. He's tailing, I believe,
Walt Davisson right in front of him
Walt
there.
Davisson. Yeah. Okay, Walt Davisson. So we got Walt Davisson, and then he is driving all up behind Frank Reinhart. So it looks like Frank is doing what he can to keep that position. Now, Walt is more of a novice driver, but this is one of his home tracks. So he knows this track a little better than Frank. Frank, I believe, has a little more experience as a wheel-to-wheel racer. So it should be interesting to watch these guys go at it here. So coming around here, late on the brakes, touch it, going in right up on the rumble strips there. Alexis knows his track super well, using as much track as he can, and see if he can get in there and get around Walt. But again, the power is going to be a problem here. Not sure how he's going to get that done. So working on it, and he's going to be trying to get Walt to make a mistake driving in his mirrors. So Alexis has a ton of experience in wheel-to-wheel racing. So one of the things you do is just you try to play some games and move around the track and have the guy in front of you keep looking in his mirrors, and eventually he's going to make a mistake if Walt can't keep his cool. So looks like Alexis, again, trying for another one here. Walt has no idea where he is. He's in his blind spot. So he has to slow down and give him space, and that's a little bit of a technique that Alexis is doing there. Looks like he might be able to get around him. Again, they're fighting pretty hard here. A little bit sideways there for Frank Reinhart, pushing it hard. These three gentlemen are really pushing all in the same position here. Look at this. Frank Reinhart going at it straight sideways onto the straightaway. And again, Alexis just has to watch these guys walk away, late break, and get up in there and give it another shot. He's got no chance on the straightaways. You can't even see these guys anymore. So late braking, got to reel them back in and get on those Willwood Aero 6 brakes, which have been excellent for us in our Spec Corvette series. Willwood brakes is the official Spec Corvette racing brakes, and with a 20 millimeter pad, you can get about, I'd say, 6 to 8 races out of a weekend. Look at that. Walt Davisson goes a little wide, and then looks like Alexis was able to get in there and go around. I don't know if he's side by side. It looks like he is side by side right now with Frank Reinhart. Look at that. Doesn't give him too much space and over-unders him. Nice move, Alexis. Gives him the over-under. So going in hot, Frank Reinhart goes a little bit hot, goes wide. Alexis reads that, brakes early, turns in, and gives him an over-under. And without a third gear, Alexis Hocevar is gained 2 positions there on this lap. So excellent job there. Going in the car, Larry Brady here from the Kansas City region, drove showing 13 hours, but that's in a normal car. It's probably about 15 hours towing plus McDonald's. So you're probably going to be stopping a few times there. It's probably easily a 16-hour trip for Larry. But Larry is our Central Region director, and he's done a great job getting the troops riled up and traveling the country. He's come visit us on the West Coast. We've raced with him at Laguna Seca. Awesome guy to be around, and is just stoked to be racing and doing this in a Corvette and driving across the United States and having fun doing it, bringing his family. So going across the line there, this is going to be a 25-minute race, and it looks like we are at get my update going, 12.5-minute mark. So we are just about 50% through this race. Rod Markovits still leading. Oh, no. I just got an update, and I'm not quite sure. Is Cecil Stevens out front? Is that correct? Or is my race hero not showing correctly?
Looks like we still have Rod out front with Wayne
Okay.
chomping at the bit right behind him. Taylor Ramey in 3rd. Larry Brady in 4th. Cecil Stevens in 5th. Alexis Hocevar in 6th. Frank Reinhart 7th. And Walt Davisson 8th.
Okay. I'm going to reload my race hero because it's showing completely wrong, but it's okay. That's what happens. That's what happens when you're sitting in a park in your truck by yourself.
The beauty of technology.
That's right. We can do it from anywhere. So yeah. I just hope the police don't stop by and ask why I'm sitting here by myself in a park watching kids run around. It's kind of weird. So it looks like we're in the car with Rod Markovits right now. Rod does an excellent job on this track. Really fast. And I know he's going to be up in the top season points. One of the top, I'd say at least the top 5, if not top 3. Rod's pretty fast out there. So Rod, this is Rod's second car that he's built. First car had an unfortunate fire going on with that car. So it was a beautiful, I don't remember the color's name, but it was a darker red with a white cage and interior in it. And that one had actually a large fire. And he lost that car totally, but rebuilt the Spec Corvette, found a Z06, put a cage in it, and started racing again. So Rod's back out there and looks like he's doing well. I believe this is Larry Brady's car that we're inside, and he's tailing somebody, not sure, going back onto the straightaway here. And
Larry looks like that's Taylor Ramey. He's trying to chase after.
Chasing Taylor Ramey. So he's from this region. So he's got some experience on this track, but I'm surprised how well Larry is doing, being that he's never been on here. Although yesterday, Alexis did allude to me that he let Larry follow him around the track. So he's taking all the credit of why Larry's running so fast today is because he let him follow around. I believe it. I would appreciate that too. So Larry's a solid driver, aware of his surroundings. Oh, it looks like we have a spun car there. A car going a different direction. Not sure if he's going home or not, but that looks like Cecil Stevens.
Was Cecil, yeah.
Yeah, Cecil Stevens in the yellow car. I'm not sure what position he was in, but it looks like that's so Alexis passed him. Now we're inside Stevens' car. It looks like now Stevens is behind Frank Reinhart. He's going to have to make some space. Look at this sideways action there. Frank Reinhart's going on the inside, is able to pass Larry Brady. The tires are starting to get a little bit slick right now. You can see the cars are sliding around. Look at this. It's a drift fest, and we have Frank Reinhart going off wide. This is great. Going off a little wide there. So these guys are pushing these tires pretty hard right now. So currently they're running on the Nankang NS2Rs, and they're running the 295 3018 tires. So when we contacted Nankang and started to work out the 2020 season, the only thing they had was a 295 3018 for us, and they really wanted to get involved with Spec Corvette. So the deal was that they were going to develop a 315, and while that happened, we run a 295. Knowing all well that a 295 3018 and a 200 treadwear tire for this race series is going to be a little bit on the light side. For the grip is good, but the ability to hold heat is going to be more difficult than a 315. So what you're seeing right now is, about 20 minutes into a race, 16 minutes into a race. If you really push your tires really hard, they start to get a little bit greasy. But we're looking to fix all that with the 2021 season as Nankang has built us a 315 3018 tire specifically for Spec Corvette. So the first races on the West Coast, I know we're going to be running the 315. So as well as the rest of the country. So a lot of the heat management issues or lack thereof are going to start to fall apart. So a little bit of lap traffic out here with a Spec Miata of sorts. And that's inside Larry Brady's car. See if he can lay the power down to get around that. Yep, no problem there. So let's hope we don't have any more spins out there. So it's definitely, it looks like more of a damp day out there. It doesn't look extremely dry. At least it's been raining from looking at the puddles and whatnot. So it could be a factor with how slick it is. So let's take a look here at the positioning. All right, I am showing Rod Markovits with a 157.7, and then Wayne Caudle right behind him, 157.72. Taylor Ramey, 159.1. Larry Brady, 159. Alexis Hocevar, 204. But he's still in fifth place, which is doing really excellent because without a third gear, he's definitely pulling all the tricks out of his toolbox. They got Walt Davisson 202, dropping some time there. Excellent job there. Cecil Stevens, the last lap was a 213 due to that spin. And then Frank Reinhart also had another bit of a spin. So the Florida guys are mud bogging out there. So they got to get a grip and get back on track. If not, they're going to end up in last place, both of them. So let's go back to our call here and take a look at the screen. We're inside Larry Brady's car, a little bit of lap traffic, get past him. Do I see a flag, or he was waving something, I thought. I don't know. So Cecil Stevens here behind the other yellow Z06 of Larry Brady. And Larry just picked up another, I think he bought another Spec Corvette or a Z06 to build. Seems like a common thing with all of our Spec Corvette racers. I commented one the other day to a person saying that this is one of the only race series that people can afford to have 2 race cars. It's such an affordable way to race that buying spares and just picking up another car as a spare is obtainable. And a lot of these other race cars, an ST2, GT2, you're going to have $100,000 into that, and having 2 of those is pretty difficult. So if you build these cars yourself, you could definitely get one done for around $22,000 if you do it all yourself. Professionally built, you're looking around $30,000. So for a full-on spec racing car with Penske Racing shocks, Willwood brakes, full cage fire system, everything, spec SCT1 sway bars, you're looking right around $22,000 if you build it yourself, and you're going to have a pretty darn good race car that will set some of the fastest lap times of the day out there. And reliability wise, they're excellent. They're not perfect, but they are much better than most cars because we just limit what you can touch. So stock 380 horsepower LS6 engines, stock transmissions, stock differentials, everything like that. So it keeps these cars as reliable as possible. They're plenty fast. These cars are setting really nice lap times on 200 tread-wear tires, nonetheless. So back in Larry Brady's car, and we are he's still on the hunt for I think that's Taylor Ramey's car, and with Larry Brady tailing behind him. And they're coming across here. Do we see any flags there? I see. Is that a checkered?
That was a checkered, yes.
Okay, so it looks like the checkered flag is flown. And Larry Brady wasn't able to pull off that pass with Taylor Ramey. And let's go over to the Race Hero specs here. I got the flag here. And correct me if I'm wrong, because my Race Hero is weird. We got Rod Markovits taking P1, Wayne Caudle P2 from NOLA region, Taylor Ramey P3. And Larry Brady just got etched out of the podium on a 4th place, but for the first time being on this track. Pretty darn good. Alexis Hocevar, that's a great position for him with only 5 years. Walt Davisson, 6th place. Cecil Stevens and Frank Reinhart rounding out the rear. So it looks like those guys are going to have to develop a plan tonight when they get back to the trailer, figure out how they're going to lay down a faster lap time tomorrow. But they have some practice today. But these NOLA boys are taking a 1, 2, 3, which is expected. As they know the track really well, and the other guys are learning, but they came here to race and give them a challenge. So tomorrow we have a race with Spec Corvette at the NOLA region. I believe it's at 10 a.m. Is that correct?
That is correct. 10 a.m. Central Standard Time.
All right, 10 a.m. Central Standard. So that's 8 o'clock for us West Coasters out here. And so come join us again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time for a Spec Corvette race presented by Nanking Motorsport Tires, FFP Racing, Willwood Brakes, Track Spec Motorsports, Penske Racing Shocks, Redline Oil, Sparco, Winding Road Racing, Spec Racing, TPS Motorsports, and AMT Motorsports. My name is John Wynn, number 155 for the West Coast region. You're joined here with Josh Carroll, number 17, and his son Cole at the controls of the video. So we appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.